Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
No, we changed it. Go.
Jackson, first play, going to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Baltimore, first down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
You. Report. Hey. You. Yeah.
Now it's Jackson. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, report. You changed it. You at X.
Jackson now. Now he'll tuck this and run. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. Now a second and 2.
Hey, middle.
Here's Jackson to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Go ahead.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Again, Jackson. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and more than that. And down to the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Lamar changing the play.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
No, we changed it. Cut.
Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Flowers. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's another Baltimore first down. 1st and goal.
And for Jackson, this may be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, hey. You at X, you at X. Hey, Ozzie, shut up. Go. Shut up.
Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Jacorian Bennett has it. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So just a tremendous play there defensively on this opening drive. Not just to make the interception, but to take it all the way home.
And it felt like this was a defense that was on its heels a bit to start this thing off.
Yeah, they pretty much let the other guys march right down the field until that moment.
Yeah, key play there. Turned it all around. Big moment.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Offense set at the line for this next drive. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Go ahead.
To throw is Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
That's good for Baltimore. First down.
13.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Throwing is Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Walker. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jackson going to change things up a bit.
Hey! Report!
Again, he'll drop to throw. Jackson going to keep it. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Hey, Silver. Hey, let's go. Trimmer. 63. Crown left Yeti.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Crown left Yeti.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Wester on the return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 42-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for... Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Jacorian Bennett has it. And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30.
First and 10.
A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Go Silver, ready? Yeti. Crowd left, Yeti. Do on left. Hey, easy, 63, back.
Hurts. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Hey, 73.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. From the 25, here's second down and 3.
Trimmer.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 24 yards out. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. So that a very nice-looking touchdown run.
And on his first carry of the game as well. And you remember, Brandon, we talked to him yesterday, and he thought he was going to have a big game. He thought everything aligned perfectly. He liked what the defense was presenting, and he really liked what he was getting from his blockers.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone. And that means they'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Sit high. Go ahead. 180. You.
Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 51 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Tyler Loop now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Eagles 14, Ravens 7.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
27 on the play.
Great.
First down, Eagles.
Hey, Silver. 73. Crown left Yeti.
Throwing is Hurts. And this one's incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Don't touch that. Hey, 73. Crown left Yeti. Hey, easy, 63, back. Crown left Yeti. Don't touch it.
Here's Hurts to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Back to throw again. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Eagles 21, Ravens 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that's going to be short of the landing zone. It doesn't make it there, so that means the ball's going to come out to the 40. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Let's go.
2nd and 10. Now Jackson going to shift him around. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Now into the hands of Flowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
13 yards on the play.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Jackson going to keep it. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Keely Ringo picks it off. And the Eagles are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see.
Hey, Silver. Crowd left Yeti. Go Silver, ready? Crowd left Yeti.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Nnamdi Madubuike coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
Second down.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
No touch that. 180, 180. Hey, 70, 63, 63, 60, 73. Crowd left Yeti. 9. No touch.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Great. Hey, easy. 180, 180. Crowd left Yeti. Yeti. Hey, Silver. No touch.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
No
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the 43-yard line.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's third down.
Now Hurts changing up the play. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
They'll run for it with Barkley. The 20. 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Jake Elliott taking off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this ball is not going to get to the 20, so this is going to be whistled dead, and the ball's going to be placed up at the 40-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Jacorian Bennett has it. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jahan Dotson, 29 yards. And the Eagles are able